Welcome back to Nerds Explain It All. I'm Zach.
I'm Lance.
And I'm Steven.
And this week, we got a lot to talk about. Lots of casting overload in the last week or so off some of our favorite shows, like Heroes. Huh? Am I right? No? Yes. The lukewarm reaction.
Maybe some of my favorite seasons are in there.
Yeah, exactly.
The Arrow Flash spinoff has some new casting. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a Casey Jones. We'll get to that. And finally, they're making a Batman 66 animated movie. And
that's exciting.
That's exciting. Saving the best for last news. We'll just jump right into it. Heroes Reborn. Now, of the three of us, I think I'm the most excited for this because you guys seem to not really care.
Heroes just let me down so hard that it's just like,
Absolutely. You know, if they do it, if they knock it out of the park, I will gladly go back into that world. But
yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm not going to watch it, but I'm not excited about it at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's a show. It's rare that a show falls from grace that hard and that fast. So Zachary Levi, who is the main character, I would say, it seems, of the new show, Heroes Reborn.
I don't know. I'd say HRG is still the main character.
No, I mean, I think it's going to be Zachary Levi because HRG was never a main character before.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only holdover.
Well,
I think there's a big reason there. He's going to be the holdover.
The Nick Fury of Heroes. You know what I mean? Like, he's the guy who ties it all together in the background, working for the organization, pulling people together, man in the shadows.
In my opinion, I think that he'll have a bigger role than just not being that.
Well, I hope so. I mean, of all these guys, obviously we care about him the most.
Mm-hmm.
But Zachary, it's not a real cast photo, but it's basically a big selfie of Zach Levi posted on Twitter with most of the cast. Most of these guys, I have no idea who they are.
Exactly.
But the main person, I guess, Steve. Now you watch Once Upon a Time, right?
I do, and let me tell you. So Robbie K, I didn't know his name offhand, but I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, played
Peter Pan, and it is a fucking fantastic performance. Like Peter Pan, that season is amazing, and he plays like a really creepy. She's just really creepy, and and he can do that very well. So I'm imagining he's going to be some creepy kid with powers in this one.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a villain.
I think
he looks like a villain.
I feel like he wouldn't. I feel like he would be dumb to take a villain because he would be typecasting himself.
Villain in a genre show. I see.
He could definitely do it well for sure.
I think the girl from Twilight's in here, Judith Shekoney. Not that I've never seen a Twilight movie. I have no idea who she is or anything. A couple other characters. So that's the main cast there. You can see them all in Zachary Levi's selfie. But the most exciting news to me is that Masai Oka is coming back as Hiro. In a guest starring arc, which means he'll be in multiple episodes.
Which means hopefully we'll get to see Ando.
Which, you cannot do Hiro without Ando. You can't do Hiro without Ando. George Lucas over Ando and Hiro. But you can't do Hiro without Ando.
Agreed.
So Ando was my favorite.
Ando was my favorite character. Yeah, Ando was my favorite character. So I hope he gets. I hope he's back.
Well, there's a few ways they could do this. Now, when I first heard about Heroes Reborn, I was like, how are they going to bring? Obviously, they're going to bring back some old characters. How can they do it? The most bullshit way to do it, and this is probably the route they're going to go. Let's face it, is it's going to be Hiro from one of the earlier seasons, right? And he just kind of pops in and does some stuff, and then goes back away. It's completely unrelated. You know what I'm saying, though? It's out of context.
Hiro hasn't aged, yeah.
Yeah, and he'll be, because everybody loves the badass future hero with the samurai sword, but no one wants to see what it takes to get him there. And that's that Ando is dead. There's a reason he became that badass samurai hero we love so much from the future. Now, I would love to see a version of that, but I don't think we will. Do you guys think we'll get to see Samurai Sword Hero, Soul Patch Hero?
I hope so. We were teased with it so long ago. It's just let's see it. Why not?
This clearly doesn't happen, and something honestly, I forget how the whole fucking thing ended. But I know that they go forward in time. This clearly, it's not that clear, but I feel like this doesn't happen in a world where that's gone to shit, right? Mm-hmm. That's been averted, which means that Ando never died, which means Hiro never did it that way.
Had to become that.
Right. I mean,
Yes.
he became that way as a response to losing the light in his life. Right.
I feel like this is going to happen. It's going to be very much like the beginning of Heroes, where these people are discovering they have powers and all that kind of stuff. So it's just going to be, Heroes was originally conceived as a different set every season, right?
Right. Actually, this is more akin to what Heroes Season 2 would have been had NBC not, stepped in and made Tim Craig do it when they did it.
Like Noah Bennett would have been, HRG would be the perfect person to carry over from season to season.
The
so
through line, working for the company, which I assume they've redone the company and he's in charge. I would like to see Angela Petrelli because she was always such a powerful figure, but who knows? Obviously, Peter, Sylar, and Claire are not around, which is
Thank
fine.
God.
But here, how about this? What do you think? What do you think if Zachary Levi is one of them in disguise? Like, what if he's like Sylar with a new face? Because A, Zachary kind of wouldn't come back, B, he's a known public fugitive and he needs to create a new identity. What do you think of that?
I think they need to distance themselves from that stuff.
But is that not exactly what they would do? You can totally see
I wouldn't be surprised by it.
I think Lance is right. They need to have as little contact with the original series as possible. Mm-hmm. Like, you have HRG. He's in the same position. He's the same character, but this is all new experiences. And maybe every now and then you'll see bits and pieces of like Hiro coming forward through time or stuff like that. Maybe you'll see, I don't know, like a newsreel with something in the background. But they just need to push themselves away because people have bad memories of that show.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Hiro coming back is a nice it's a nice addition. The problem with Hiro is he's so powerful. Like, he can solve any problem. That's why they gave him like a brain tumor and amnesia in every single season. Take away his powers, all that stuff. I will say all this stuff, Hiro, even at the end though, all the stuff with him and his mom and him and his dad, like I really did think that even though season 4 really fizzled out, I did like Hiro in it. He fought what's his name? Adam Monroe. Ra's al Ghul from Heroes. Yeah. He's a nemesis. I love how the time traveler, that's a great nemesis for a time traveler, is an immortal guy.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
That was a nice little concept. I like that.
And then they wasted it by having Arthur Petrelli kill him in like 2 minutes.
Yep.
So, I really like him as a character, but I guess he won't be coming back. He's on iZombie now. He's as a zombie. No, I don't watch it either, but I've seen the trailers. You remember, Lance, the episode of Arrow that he was on? As the guy who like counts the arrows in his quiver and figures out that he can run out. That's brilliant. He was a good villain. Just a one-off villain, but really good. He won't be back, I'm sure. But
I'm sure.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Heroes Reborn. I know you guys are kind of on the fence about it, so if this sucks, then it's all over. Then I guess I'll sell my DVDs to half-price books or something. But
get 30 cents.
Yeah. I could probably get some good Laserdiscs for my DVDs, actually, now that we talk about it. But are you guys going to watch all 13, or if it sucks, are you going to like give up after 5 episodes?
I don't watch bad shows, so I will stop.
I used to be right there with you, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Gotham just beat the commitment out of me to TV shows. Mm-hmm. So coming around to that.
If you guys say, oh no, it got bad, but I mean, it ends really well, I'll go back and watch it, but I'm not going to. I don't give a shit about this. It's not important to me. So if it's bad, I can end it and be fine with it. It's on you, Heroes. I know you're listening. Anyways, next topic.
Segue. Shows we do like, Arrow and The Flash. They have a third show in the works. It's the untitled Arrow Flash spinoff, I believe is what the trades have been calling it.
They're going to call it. I heard they're going to call it Heroes.
That's funny. So they're going to be 3 main characters, and then lots of other characters. It has the most crazy list of characters who are going to be in this. By the way, we have Katie Lotz coming back. We don't know if she's going to be Sarah or not, but she better be, right? Yeah. Who else could she be? Red and Ralph is going to be in it as the Atom. Captain Cold, Wentworth Miller. I love him on The Flash. He's great. Great. Who I love more, though, is Dominique Purcell as Heatwave. I love him more than Captain Cold. Victor Garber, half of Firestorm. So I don't know what's going to happen to Ronnie. So that's weird.
Yeah, who knows?
And then the new twist cast members are Ciara Renee as Hawkgirl and Arthur Darvill as Rip Hunter. So
let's talk about Arthur Darvill first.
Yeah, let's talk about take it away.
It's gonna be shorter. So except for Nancy, I'm the guy that's watched Doctor Who. Arthur Darvill, very important in a couple seasons. He's a good actor. I don't know who the heck is Rip Hunter.
He's a time traveler. There's some ties to Booster Gold.
Well, he's Booster Gold's son.
Yeah, there it is. There's the tie.
I love Booster Gold. He's my favorite.
Squeaky wheel.
Yeah, that was a great episode. The greatest story never told.
That was a great episode.
On Justice League Unlimited. And, he actually had a really good episode on Smallville, believe it or not, in Season 10.
Shut the fuck up, Zach. No one's here, but we're talking about good hero shows now. I mean, it's kind of like a guy you really don't know much about is playing a role that you really don't know much about. So, I mean, who knows?
We don't even know who the third lead character is going to be, but there's supposed to be 3 lead characters. One is Rip Hunter. The other is Hawkgirl. Now, she is not going to be...
alien.
Now, do you have a problem with this, Steve? Well, her name is Kendra Saunders, and she is resurrected. And go ahead.
Okay, in the new series, Saunders is a young woman who is just beginning to learn that she has been repeatedly reincarnated over the centuries. When provoked, her ancient warrior persona manifests itself, along with wings that grow out of her back, earning her the moniker Hawkgirl. That's fucking stupid. When I first heard about Hawkgirl, I was like, they're really going to have aliens in this universe? So I'm glad they didn't do that, because that's a whole can of worms you'd want to open. Although, I guess... Well, Supergirl's an alien? Shit.
Yeah, well, so that's the same creative team's making Supergirl. They haven't established if it's going to be in the Arrowverse yet or not, but I don't know.
But, I mean, this is weird. I mean, they changed the entire mythology.
Well, I will say Kendra Saunders is actually Hawkgirl's name on the Earth 2 comic book in the New 52. So there is a precedent for it, and she is of ethnic origin.
The woman who's playing her is fucking gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
she's real. She's like a prettier Kerry Washington.
Yeah, I think Kerry Washington is gorgeous. So whatever.
Ciara Renee,
she's skinny.
Beautiful name too. So this is kind of like the Golden Age Hawk people.
Ciara in the house.
Don't get mad, Steve, but on Smallville. Hawkman and Hawkgirl had a similar thing. They weren't aliens; they were just reincarnated.
Yeah,
through the centuries.
Which I like because I think it's the appropriate way to go with this character. And as far as like the Hawks are concerned, I think that's an appropriate way to go. Especially, it makes me think of that Justice League episode where where Carter Hall is there and he's trying to convince Shira that they're reincarnated lovers and all this other stuff. I think that's the appropriate way to go for this universe, as opposed to being Hawk people from Vanagar.
Yeah, dude, save that for Justice League. Like, I think it would be great in the Justice League movies to have them be a villain. Thanagarians. Like, just make Starcrossed into a movie.
Yeah,
please. So Hawkman, do you think he's going to show up?
I'm not sure, but the thing is, the person that's most tied to, to her at the moment is Jon Stewart and this universe. And let's not throw Diggle in there because I don't think that's what they're going to do.
Jon Stewart Diggle is not going to happen. Okay.
Yeah, but because she has ties to Hawkgirl has ties to Jon Stewart, Green Lantern. Hawkgirl also has ties to Roy Harper because they're kind of a thing in pre New 52. Hawkgirl and Roy Harper were a thing when they were both on Justice League. So
she's the right age,
and then also don't forget that Vixen is supposed to be part of this universe in some way.
So they're having an animated series about Vixen. So yeah. I'm surprised that she's not going to be in this show. Maybe they haven't announced it yet. Like cast a live action version of her. Yeah, because this girl would have been perfect for Vixen.
No joke.
I do hope we see Hawkman at some point. My pick would be, of course, Carl Urban, who I referred to as Hawkman from Lord of the Rings. Yep. I have for 10 years now, 15 years now.
Carl Urban isn't going to do this.
He was in Almost Human, okay?
True.
Yeah, he's making Star Trek. He doesn't have time for this crap.
He makes one Star Trek movie every 4 years. Okay. So I would love to see Karl Urban as Hawkman in some capacity. I want to see Karl Urban as a superhero, and Judge Dredd doesn't count because we didn't see his face. All that being aside, I do think bringing in Hawkman opens up a whole nother can of worms. Like, they have so many random characters in this show. Like, yes. I think they need to. I don't know what this show needs to define. Like, what it is. Like,
that was my next thing. Like, I have no idea what their goal in their end game is. It's just like, oh, we have a bunch of these characters. Like, so what are you planning on doing? Is this going to be like the Outsiders? Is this going to be like some weird Justice League thing? Like, what are they trying to do?
Well, I think it's going to be like a mid-season show, kind of like Agent Carter. So it might only be like, this is just speculation, like based off what the trades have been saying. But it's going to be like a shorter, like a 13 episodes maybe.
On the Arrows Flash spinoff, eyed for next mid-season. So you're spot on there. So
that could mean it's either a replacement or like it's going to start in January and they're going to see how it goes. Now, you know, if they did like, if this is like a Tales of the DC Universe or something, they could do. That would explain why Sarah's going to be back. Like, you know,
that'd be cool.
Her days in the League of Assassins with Raish.
Wait,
and Nissa.
Is it? Do you say Rip Hunter's a time traveler?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's
so he can go back in time and visit Katie Lotz then.
That's true. But see, but you don't know who's going to interact with who. Why are the villains main characters? Like, it's all very confusing. I do like the fact that they're saving all these great characters and putting them in like a separate show. Because as much as I love Brandon Routh on Arrow, like he's like one of the best parts about the season. I would like Arrow to stop being like, hey, let's set up all these other characters for other shows. You know what I mean? Like, because he's practically the second main character now. I mean, he's got his own separate plot who has no overlap other than Felicity. God, with the main storyline. So you want to keep these guys in the family, so to speak, in the Arrowverse. But they can't really afford to do spin-offs of all these guys. So I think we might just get like Days in the Life, like 3-episode arcs of stuff like that. You know, Captain Cold and Heatwave doing their thing. Maybe the Rogues.
Little vignettes. That's
vignettes almost. That would make the most sense to me. But yeah, you're right, Lance. We still have no idea what this show is. So once they define it, I think we can make some better ideas of what's going to happen. Segue. Because apparently that's what we say even when we do have a segue. Speaking of the Arrowverse, the guy who launched it all, Stephen Amell himself, has been cast in a very important role, Lance. Why don't you tell us about it?
He's been cast as Casey Jones in the next Ninja Turtles movie, the sequel to that one that came out a year ago that I didn't see.
Did any of us see Ninja Turtles?
No.
Steve, you didn't even see like Godzilla. You better not have seen Ninja Turtles.
Well, no. I saw RoboCop, but I didn't see Ninja Turtles. No.
I guarantee you RoboCop was better than Ninja Turtles.
I mean, I just don't understand any of it. Like, Michael Bay kicked Megan Fox out of a movie, and now she's back in like a main role.
Michael Bay is producing this; he's not directing it.
Yeah.
So still, if he didn't like her, he could get her out of there. And also,
she did call him
they
Hitler.
Look like creepy freaks.
You don't like how they look.
They're not nice to look at. They're disgusting.
Yeah. Well, they
are mutants. What do you want?
I think what people want is to see turtles that they recognize, and I think that like the problem that a lot of people had is that this is not Turtles. Like, kind of like how you were, how you would say, and like how you complain a lot how, like, the new Star Trek movies is not Star Trek. Like, you could, visually and like when you were watching it, you could feel it's not Star Trek. Same thing with this new Turtles thing. It's not Turtles. Like, and when I read Turtles every month in the IDW thing, or when I watch the Nickelodeon show, that's Turtles. This other thing is not. And as much as I love Stephen Amell, like, and I want him to do well. I think he's going to do well as Casey Jones. I think he could totally pull it off. It just it's not appealing. It's not because like he's going to be in it. It's just not appealing because the movie around him I don't think is going to be that great. Now will I see this to support him? Probably, but I think I'll begrudgingly do it. Because
because I don't want to go see this by myself. So.
Yeah,
and I'll have to see the original one now.
That's another thing. Now I have to waste time watching that.
the problem is that they try to like, okay, if there were turtles and they mutated for some goop, they probably would look like the freaks in the movie.
Thank you.
But
they're mutants.
Yeah, but the point is that, as Lance said, we don't care that what they would actually look like. I want to see a fucking guy in a rubber suit Because the 1991 was like amazing.
That's
Right.
the best.
Yeah,
that's the
that
best
holds
that
up
they've
today.
ever looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, like So
Well, that was Jim Henson, and he's not around anymore.
Not like this third one with the samurais where they were like wearing like
that was terrible.
like costumes bought from a store.
Oh my god. Have you seen... I didn't even know this existed, but I love going to cinemassacre.com, the angry video game nerd, James Rolfe, and he did like a complete like series on the Ninja Turtle stuff, and I didn't know these things existed, but there was like a Ninja Turtles music tour.
Yeah, coming out of our
Yeah.
shows.
There you go. Lance knows about it. Did you go see it, Lance?
Hell yeah, I went to go see that shit.
All right, man. We gotta go watch the video, see if you're in the audience. But there's that. They were like on Oprah. Like they had a Christmas special, which is one of the most absurd things. It's probably worse than the Star Wars Holiday Special, from what I can tell. And the costumes just get progressively worse. It's like, how does it get worse? I don't understand. Like in 1990. Looks look great, and the 1995 looks like garbage. So I don't know, but it still looked better than the weird CGI turtles. I thought anything tangible is impressive and looks real because you know what, it is real. It's there. Some people aren't looking at nothing and interacting, and the turtles are like 8 feet tall. I think that's a bigger problem. Like how they look, okay, whatever, but they're huge. And that's why Shredder from this is all based off the trailer because none of us saw it, but it looked like Shredder. They made him like 12 feet tall. Because if he were a normal guy, like the 4 giant turtles could kill him easily.
Yeah, which is why the original one, like in 1990, they were short.
Right. I mean, they're turtles. They're stubby, stocky turtles.
Yeah,
they need to be stocky because they need to protect themselves.
But Amell aside, would you want to see Casey Jones in the sequel?
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
it's necessary. That's the necessary next step. He's just important to the entire dynamic of Turtles. I mean, because he bonds with April, but like he's important to he's the other human that they interact with. So and he's also a male, and he is also he butts heads with Raphael, but then they form this friendship and partnership, and he's cool with everybody else. He's kind of a mediator when the Turtles are having issues with each other or with Splinter or with whomever. Because he's just he has that type of presence. So it's necessary for him to be there.
You got to eat a crumpet.
Shut up.
I think Amell's going to do great, though. All you have to look at is flashback Oliver.
I have no doubt that he's going to do great at that. Look, I'm not worried about him.
Do you really think he can pull off a mass vigilante, though? I don't think he can do it.
I love all the memes that are already coming out, like Shredder, you have failed the city.
Yeah, that's great.
I never seen that.
Yeah, so of course he's all about that shit too. Like, so he's.
I mean, he is a social media master. Like,
yes, he is.
Like, and all credit to him. Like, he loves the fans. He embraces the fact that he's on a beloved superhero TV show. We've come a long way since like people just being ashamed of it.
Yeah,
Tom Welling, but and man, Tom Welling, you should own that, man. Like,
he should totally own it.
If you're gonna do that for 10 years, just own it because that's all you're ever gonna do. Okay, forget the Cheaper by the Dozen and the Fog. The Fog is bullshit. Don't go see the Fog.
Don't go see it. Shout to you, LJ.
That's an in joke there, but the Fog was bullshit. Okay. But really, I mean, just Amell, he's like, you know what? I'm the Green Arrow, and I love it, and people love me, and I love them for it. And he has just a great rapport with them, and it's really him too. He doesn't delegate because you can tell when celebrities delegate their social media and whatever, and that's fine. I understand not everyone has the time or the inclination to do it, but the fact that he embraces the character so much just makes you love him even more. And I'm glad that this could be not the Turtles are as mainstream as they used to be, but this could be a really mainstream thing for him to kind of break out. In Hollywood, because I know there's a lot of buzz around him being like in 50 Shades of Grey. I'm glad he wasn't because I didn't want to like associate Arrow with that. It's gonna he's gonna reach a lot. He's gonna have a lot more fans now, and that could actually turn a lot more fans on to Arrow. So and therefore the Arrowverse and CW and all that. So I think it's a win-win. I'm very excited about it. As someone who doesn't really care about Ninja Turtles, to be honest, I'm really excited about this, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the movie as Casey Jones.
All right, then.
Segue. We need to think of a better segue.
I like it.
I just don't want to get sued and use the Batman 66 transition, which is a segue. Which,
come on, man.
Thank you. Next bit of news is Batman 66 is coming out with an animated movie. They're making and this is something they should have done years ago. It's such an obvious thing to do to continue the Batman 66 show. Now, Lance, did you ever watch? I asked Lance because he's the Batman guy. Did you ever watch the New Adventures of Batman cartoon, like back in the day, like on repeats and stuff?
Some of them.
Where they had Adam West and Burt Ward actually being Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was what was like on Cartoon Network back in the day. I don't know how I saw it, but it's in the same vein as Super Friends, but it's actually a Batman show, you know. And that's the closest we ever got to this, and it makes a lot of sense, I think, bringing them back. And now that they've cleared all the home video BS now and the merchandising and all that, Batman 66, it's the 50th anniversary next year, 2016. So no more appropriate time to bring these guys back in an animated movie.
Agreed.
You got to meet them at Comic-Con.
I sure did.
Tell us about that.
It was awesome. Burt Ward didn't really say anything to me, but Adam West did, and he had that voice. And when I came up, I was wearing a Batman shirt. And apparently, nobody else was wearing a Batman shirt when they went to go meet him. But
it's the guy from Family Guy.
Yeah, I know, right? And so when I went to meet him, he's like, "Well, hey there, Batsy," and I just melted. I was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome!" But he was really nice. And it was just a great experience. I got to meet the dude that I grew up watching as Batman for a little bit.
Batman 66 is it's out of place in the current I don't know what you call it, climate of superhero movies. It's goofy, but they're not trying to. I mean, this is all like nostalgia, right?
Well, I would agree with you. 30 years ago with Batman 89, Year One, that kind of stuff. That's what really pushed Batman 66 out of the public eye, and everyone turned on it. It got thrown into that's just kitschy garbage, you know.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because yes, there are a lot of you look at all those Marvel shows from the 70s and all that, all those failed attempts at horrible movies like Captain America: Death Too Soon, stuff like that. And I think people put this in that category, and that's not the case because the genius thing about Batman 66 was, yes, it was goofy and it was colorful, but it was the comic books on screen, and it was very self-aware. It was when you're a kid, you watch it and you enjoy it because it's Batman beating up the Joker. When you're older, it's this is really funny. This is clever. Yeah. It's self-referential, self-depreciating almost. It's acknowledging the absurdity, and that's why people still love it. And it's 50 years later, and you're right, Steve. It is all nostalgia. It's the 50th anniversary, and we should be very happy that Adam West and Burt Ward are still around to celebrate it. You know?
Yes, agreed.
So they're coming out with this animated movie. I think it's a great idea. What would you guys like to see in it?
Just keep doing what you're doing. If it's anything like the Batman 66 comic book, then I'm all for it. Just do that. Continue that universe in some respect. I don't want to see a recreation of the movie or any other stuff. Just keep doing what they've already been doing and what they're good at. Stick to their guns. Stick to their game plan.
Yeah, I love the Batman 66 comic book. It's one of the few books I'm going to keep getting.
Yeah,
because I'm going to dump everything when the New 52 kind of ends when they unbrand
when they do.
it.
Yeah, when they do get rid of Convergence or whatever.
When the Chappie Batman and T-shirt Superman come out.
That's awful, by the way.
Terrible. So I love the Batman 66 comic book. I think it's probably one of the most consistently entertaining books there are.
Yes.
I actually like how they're kind of tackling new villains that the show never got around to. I mean, they even did they brought in a Harley Quinn kind of character. They referred to the Red Hood, so it's very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So I think for this movie, I would love if they did Two-Face. Because they had that special.
That's true.
True. Written by Harlan Ellison, who was actually going to have a 2-part episode in the show, but they deemed it too dark and stuff. And yeah, it's Two-Face. Come on. You know who they wanted to play Two-Face in the show, guys?
Who?
Clint Eastwood.
That would have been, oh my god, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? They should get him. I'm sure he's available. So. Yeah.
Tell me, do you feel lucky?
What are you fish heads looking at? Gooks and Zipperheads. Gran Torino, great movie. Anyway, Julie Newmar is coming back and doing Catwoman. So I think that's a great idea because I don't know how many people are still around, from
not many
the show. So I mean, she's one of the few, and I think that's a great idea bringing her back. Now I will say,
yeah, she still enjoys this stuff also. So that's also very cool.
Now there were 3 Catwoman on the show. I believe it was Michelle Pfeiffer. Halle Berry and Anne Hathaway. Is that correct, Lance?
No, that is not correct.
It is funny how that kind of correlates, though.
Yes, it does.
I will say, I actually probably because I saw the movie first, I like Lee Merriweather. She's my favorite of the 3.
Agreed.
So you like Lee Merriweather better as well.
Yeah, that was because that's the first thing that I saw was the movie. Then I saw the show.
And I haven't seen any episodes with Eartha Kitt, so...
I have. It's funny, but it's whatever.
It's season 3. All right.
I was a big fan of Julie Newmar. She's totally hot. I'm a sucker for a brunette like that. She was, God, she had a nice body, but it was. move on.
I will say,
is Aunt Harriet going to be in this?
But yeah, what do you think? Do you think they should have someone like impersonate Cesar Romero or Burgess Meredith? Or I think that not in bad taste, but I don't know. I wouldn't like that. Would you guys?
I don't think so. I don't think that would be. I think
it's necessary. But I think it's necessary because if you're gonna have they're not gonna have Joker in it.
Well, you're gonna have Catwoman already, okay, and you have so many other villains. Like I said, Two-Face they never even did on the show, so you could have a completely new actor do Two-Face, and it wouldn't be jarring. So
yeah,
get Tommy Lee Jones to do it.
That's like a bad case of gas.
God, I can't believe you still said that shit. It's ridiculous.
Let's start this party with a bang.
But there's my two favorite lines in Batman Forever are boiling acid. Right. But my favorite line is, "Tell me, Doctor, do you like the Thurketh?"
the Thurketh.
Kilmer does have a bit of a lisp, doesn't he?
No. Just in that one line, he's like, "Tell me, Doctor, do you like the Thurketh?"
Thurketh.
It's Lance's white nerd voice.
Lance, we need to have you on the show as like a special guest and not tell people it's you, and you need to talk in that voice the whole time.
That'd be awesome.
Well, what's your stereotypical white nerdy name?
White nerdy name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's see. Orville Redenbacher now.
He's not a hipster.
Yeah.
Orville Redenbacher's not a hipster just because he wears a bow tie and suspenders. Come on.
Oh,
guy invented popcorn. So yeah, I would love to see them tackle some new villains, and like I said, I think Two-Face is the obvious one because everybody knows Two-Face.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, literally, they just announced this, so more details to come, obviously. And the DC, to be honest, the DC animated movies has really gone downhill since The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
All the New 52 stuff has just been not very good. I mean, the voice cast, the stories. I mean, it's just not. It's not very good.
The animation.
Yeah, really, the animation looks like the Marvel stuff from the early 2000s. Lame.
Yep.
So and DC was always the master of animation. So it's kind of a shame to see how far they've
fallen.
I mean, it's not garbage or anything, but I will say, what was the last one we watched? Batman and Son. Is that the last one that came out? I was just bored with it. Like
that was actually bad. Too.
Yeah, it was like bad, and and now they're doing like Batman versus Robin, and they're combining like.
With the Court of Owls.
Yeah, they're combining. God, what are they combining? It's is it Damian versus Batman kind of thing?
Yes.
With the Court of Owls, it's like, why are you wasting? Court of Owls is a brilliant story. Why are you wasting it? Like Court of Owls could be a 2-part movie.
Agreed.
Which would be perfect because I'm probably never going to read it. But
oh, you should. You totally
you should, man.
You totally should read Court of Owls.
I've thought about it, but like, I don't want to. I mean, is it? Do they have a graphic novel?
Yeah, they have 2 parts.
Yeah.
They have like Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the New 52 Batman. Go buy them. I totally recommend it.
Well, I do it on my phone. It's a lot easier because now I can just whip it out whenever I have a free minute. And the app I use, Comixology, is like really cool where you can zoom in and it's like have you ever seen like the motion video?
Oh, it
like
kind of goes from panel to panel as you read it.
Yes, and then on like big sort of spreads, it'll pull out so you can see the whole thing. So it's very awesome the way they do it. And
the way comics were meant to be experienced.
Yes, on at least as best you can do on a screen. So
I still like having the paper, the hard copy. I look at a computer too much. I look at a screen like all day in my entire life, so it's nice to actually look at a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Steve?
I probably won't watch it.
Why the hell not? What do you have against Batman 66?
I only have so much time in my life. I'm probably not going to.
90 minutes. 90 minutes, Steve.
Yeesh. I could watch 2 episodes of Mad Men.
Okay.
That starts Sunday.
I'm on
it's coming back?
1.
Nice. Yeah, it's coming back. Yeah, the last season. The second half.
The last 9 episodes or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all right. We will let you know if it's good.
Yeah. If you let me, I mean, it's going to be good. I'm not. Let me answer your question. I'm sure it's going to be good. It's going to be very heavy with nostalgia, but I think it's perfect for that. I think they're going to be able to do some stuff that they probably weren't able to do in the show because they're animated. Nice.
No budget constraints. Yeah, I got you.
The Terminator, but and also I think I'm going to put my money on it now. They're going to bring back the shark repellent because that was like an iconic, like ridiculous thing. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna bring it back.
Oh, they should bring. Well, he should use like the manta ray spray. It'd been good. Man, too bad Steve Irwin didn't have that stuff.
Man,
too fucking soon.
Too soon. He's been dead for 10 years. Get over it.
I'm still not over it. You know, I own Crocodile Hunter Collision Course, and I have not been able to watch it since that day. I'm not joking. I was really like, I just can't do it. You know, I just feel so sad for like daughter Bindi, which is a weird name, but you know. Anyway.
No, it is. I really like Steve Irwin. All jokes aside, but it would have been nice to have some manta ray repellent spray. Oh well, I guess they will have to recast Commissioner Gordon and Chief O'Hara because you can't really do Batman 66 without them. Maybe Ben McKenzie can be Commissioner Gordon because they need a new actor. And then the guy who plays Bullock can be Daniel Logue can be O'Hara. You do an Irish accent, it'd be fun. Hey, because Gordon doesn't have a mustache in 66.
It's true. So. He has that in common with him.
But Alfred does.
Anyway, well, it's been fun talking about all these topics today on Nerd Explain It All.
As always.
I'm Zach.
I'm Lance.
I'm Steven.
We might not break the news, but we do break it down. Just jump in, Steve.
I recently learned how to tie a bow tie.
Really?
Yeah. It's I don't. Do you guys know how?
No, I don't.
I know how to buy a pre.
So like if you look at instructions online to do it, it's like you do this, gobbity gobbity, it's done. Like they leave out like a very important last step. Like
what is it? What's the secret, Steve?
You gotta bend the sides of the bow forward to get that loop. Which if those of you who know how to do it know what I'm talking about. But
so for what special occasion did you learn this?
Oh, I'm wearing it to Easter.
Wearing it to Easter.
Yeah, wearing shirts on Easter. It's been something I've been thinking about for a long time. I'm for some reason my style coincides with hipster style, even though I'm not a hipster. Although at one point I definitely did say I was hipster before hipster, which is the most hipster thing that was ever hipstered. but no, yeah, I do wear that. So
cool. I would wear a bow tie if I could pull it off, but I can't tie one. And it's very you don't want to. The hipsters, they actually wear the real ties that you tie, not the clip-on. Yeah. You can't fake it,
Exactly.
But
it's actually pretty easy once it's more forgiving than a necktie, because if you fuck up and do one of those sides too long in a necktie, you look like you're one of the Three Stooges, but you can sort of fix yourself, and it's not supposed to look perfect, so.
Yeah. Do you wear a cummerbund with it as well?
This isn't middle school band.
God, those middle school, without the jacket, those we look so stupid. The cummerbund and a post, and every school has their own shade. Why were we maroon? Was red not available?
Oh my god! Why would you want red?
Why would you want maroon?
Well, red would be awful. I mean,
it looks awful anyway. You know what the worst one was? Like Elkins. Like it was like turquoise. It looked terrible.
No, that was Lake Olympia.
Oh, you're right. I'm thinking. I was thinking high schools. God, that's tough. Did the kids wear jackets now, Lance, in middle school?
We have vests at my school.
Vests are badass.
See, that's the thing. A tux with a cummerbund is stupid. I mean, but with a vest, you're looking good.
So no cummerbund anymore, just the vest.
Yeah, we have vest and bow ties. We have a reversible. We have it's a reversible vest. So one side is black, one side is green.
Kids today, man, listen to this shit. That's a great Riddler costume too.
Yeah.
If I wear a sweater vest, I look like a fucking coach. But like
the whistle. You just wear a whistle around too.
They used to play a sport, but let himself go. But he still thinks he's like, yeah. When I was in high school, I ran the touchdown 99 yards.
Tell you what, boy.
If Coach would have put me in that game, we would have made it to